Hello. Hi, it's the contest queen. We are live. It's my monthly sweepstakes Q&A. I'm so excited. Let's see if I can just fix this a little here. I'm wearing my brand new spec shirt and my stuff finally came and I'm drinking out of my I'm lucky mug. So, oh, hello, Amy. I'm so happy you're here because yours is one of the questions. We had 3 questions sent in advance. Otherwise, we're going to answer questions on the feed. Right now, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I got TikTok going over here, which is kind of fun. So if you have any questions on TikTok, I can't post those on the screen, but I'll ask them, and then everyone can hear. And if you go to Facebook, I found I was holding the giveaways in several places, and it was really difficult to draw winners. So I have found that just hosting it on Facebook is the easiest place to have the giveaway. So if you want to be in to win one of the prizes for tonight, and I don't just have it tonight because not everyone can watch live. I let it go for, I think I set it for Monday because Thursday's a long weekend in Canada. Sunday is the Canada Day on Thursday here, 4th of July in the United States. So I put it to Monday because normally I would end it Friday, but with the long weekend. So I've given extra time on the sweepstakes so people have a chance to enter. So if you want to be in to win, you only need 1 comment to be in. And you can put multiple comments, but if you post the comments on Facebook, it's the easiest to do a drawing from Facebook. So let's begin. Amy sent a question ages ago because I only do these once a month. I think she sent it like two or 3 weeks ago. And she wants to know, how do you do a search for an Instagram contest? There's several ways. And Amy, if in the chat, because I saw you in the chat, put your Instagram handle and we'll share it with everybody and then they can friend you. So the easiest way to find Instagram sweepstakes. Okay, so first of all, there's hashtags. So you can do searches on hashtag sweepstakes in Instagram. And you can do searches on Instagram, but any company that uses it, it's all over the world. So you're going to get stuff that's current, that you're not eligible for, that could have been expired. It's really hard to do the hashtag sweepstakes. Hashtag searching sweepstakes using hashtags. I find it very difficult, but you can follow those feeds. You may come across 1 or 2. I find the easiest way to find sweepstakes on Instagram is to 1, follow companies that frequently hold giveaways, and 2, have friends that will tag you in giveaways. I must get 100 tags a day. So let me see if Amy, okay, her Instagram handle is Beanie Princess. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And if everyone can go and friend Amy, all the sweepstakers, go and friend Amy on Instagram and then tag her in giveaways. She now has giveaways to enter, and she's now got new friends that she can tag. So it's really, I really like the sweepstakes community for Instagram contests because that's where we are all together. You know, we really are a community and we help each other win. And that's what makes it, part of what makes it fun for me. I love helping other people win. So I can't enter all 100 that I get tagged. I don't have time. I'm really working on my books. Like, I've dropped everything and I'm just focusing on them. So I got emails piling up. If it's not on fire, it's not being dealt with. And so I can't enter all 100. But if you tag me in an Instagram giveaway, you get the extra entry. So I have no problem people tagging me in giveaways. And this will help Amy out. So let's see, what do we have any other questions before I go on to the, oh yes, in the West Coast it's boiling out there. I think it was 40 degrees there today, or 44. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. The rule of thumb is double it and add 30. So it's 88 and 30. Too hot. Oh, yes. Thank you, Contest Queen. You taught me to slow down and read the rules. Yes. Have you been following? If you go on my TikTok, you will notice I have a series called Silly Sweepstakes Mistake, and I'm up to number 8. And I'm a seasoned sweeper. When I'm not paying attention or I'm tired, that's when I make most of my mistakes. If I'm tired, so I either wake up first thing and I start entering like instants or something, or it's late at night and I'm tired, but I think, oh, I just want to get in a few more entries. And that's when I screw up. I'm not paying attention. So, yeah, it's important to read the rules. So yeah, you can go see those mistakes. And then I did a few blog posts on it. Oh, yay. I made it to your live, only make it once in a while. I need to do another one soon because one of the things I need to do is I got access to a program called Be Live, and I promised one of my clients I would test it out. And I tried it out one day and it was a disaster. And I think I figured out what I did wrong. So we got to try it. Oh, Bill Hoff says, I enter a King Sumo sweep. I get 502 bad gateway. What am I doing wrong? Okay, so there's a couple of things. Have you tried entering it on different browsers or trying it on your computer versus your phone? If it doesn't work anywhere, like you've tried it mobile, like shutting off your Wi-Fi so the IP is just your data, and it doesn't work, and you've used a couple different browsers and it doesn't work, then message the sponsor because they have a problem with their giveaway. Because so many companies don't test the way they should. They don't test their giveaways. I see so many mistakes in sweepstakes. It's crazy. Oh, Janice says, I don't care if people tag me either. I don't always get to enter, but it helps others. Oh, and her handle is on IG. So the everybody seems to be on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to go and check the feeds of this live after to make sweepstakes friends, that is great. So Bill, I hope that answered your question. Try it out. And I've had to message sponsors, codes that don't work or things that freeze. And sometimes I find it works better in different browsers. Like, I don't know why. For those of you here on TikTok, if you have any questions, post them in the comments and I will answer them. So it's kind of fun having the TikTok going. Deborah wants to know about Twitter and raffle copters with extra entries. So I use Rafflecopter frequently, and so do a lot of other companies. And so what happens is, the way I set mine up, and she sent me an example, and it looks like they set it up similarly, is that I give you points for every option, and then the only one I allow you to do daily is to tweet. So if you tweet out an entry every day, you get 3 points. However, say for example, it's for a nice even number, it's 20 maximum ballots that you can get for doing every action. So it shows all 20. But you come back tomorrow and you enter again, and you're supposed to get an extra 5 ballots or 1 ballot or whatever I've set it to. And you do it, but it doesn't show like 20, 21 or 23 or 25 out of 20. It doesn't go any higher than 20. That's kind of a glitch in the Rafflecopter program, because Rafflecopter, if I look at the back end database, so as a creator, you can go in and look at all the entries. There's actually like an Excel spreadsheet style database. You can export it actually to Excel. And it kind of looks like Excel. It's got all the fields. I can go and look and see that you have gotten the extra 3 entries every day. So say the contest was 10 days long, you tweeted the extra 9 days. So I see all those extra entries. The program, however, when you look at your end on the front end of the sweepstakes in Rafflecopter, you will not see those extra 9 days of entries. I don't know why their program doesn't allow you to do that. They seem to have fallen behind the times. At one point, they were really going. They were kind of on the cutting edge because they came out when blog contests were really cumbersome to enter. And they were like the solution. It was amazing. However, they haven't upgraded, and I've seen other programs come out that seem to be a bit better. So I don't know what's happening there. And I don't know. I'm trying to get a hold of them for my book to find out. So, okay. So let's see. We have a question here. A couple of questions. So let's see. I answered Bill's. I put up Janice. Okay, so Paula wants to know, now that some travel restrictions have eased, is anyone thinking of the National Sweepstakes Convention in Arizona? I'm thinking about it. Oh my God, go. I wish I could go. The borders aren't open yet, and we're still, so I can't go this year. I'm really sad I can't go to the annual Sweepstakes Convention this year because I went to, when it was held in Arizona in 2006, and it was probably one of the best conventions I've ever been to. It was so much fun. I wish I could go. So if they're still accepting attendees at this late hour, because I think it starts on the 8th, go. If you can, if it's in your budget and they have space and you can get a room, I would just go. So that's my advice. Because there's nothing like hanging out with fellow sweepers. I don't think I would get sleep for a week because I would stay up all night talking to all my friends. Okay, so this is a good question. On IG, sometimes they'll ask you follow other accounts and then tag, and then I notice the other accounts for that contest will request the same. Do I need to tag them again in the other accounts or just if the posts are connected? Okay, I know what you're asking, Holly. So sometimes, say for example, Holly and I'll use Holly and I as an example. We're two companies, Carolyn Company and Holly Company, and we're hosting a joint giveaway. I believe this is what you're asking. And we're going to give away something. So it's some of my products and some of her products. And oh, isn't that cute? Our products, dovetail together. So I might be hair care and she might be makeup, and we make, it's good because, you want to look good all over. So I'll give some of my stuff away, and that way companies like to partner like that for those types of giveaways because it allows her products to reach my audience and vice versa. So that would be great. That's why a lot of small businesses connect together and give stuff away. Or you will see big businesses connecting with influencers who might have something to give away, and then they promote that. So it's a whole making sure you reach the audience, right? It's a good giveaway. We would then post the same thing on the same day. So we have a picture that we're going to put on Instagram, and it's got, we've stylized it. It looks pretty, it looks exciting. It says win, everyone's like, oh, this is really nice. I want to win that stuff. And underneath in the rules in the comments, we say, hey, we've partnered with so-and-so. This is exciting. Comment, like, save, tag your friends under here. For an extra entry, go over to Holly's page and enter the same. So if it's me, I enter the same on both. And I have like 5 specific people I always enter on Instagram. It's my sweepstakes club. Because I have no memory or bandwidth to tag like 100 people. I know there's people that will tag 100 people, and that's fantastic. If you have the time and you can do it, go for it. And I know people that win doing that. But I've also won just tagging 5 people. One of my best coats, I won a Roots coat one time. Oh my God, it's like the best. It's really hot in the house. This is actually just water, but I wanted to use my lucky mug that I. Oh, you know what? Everything's backwards on TikTok. I just realized I should flip the camera. No, no, mirror the video. There. That's better. Now you can see my lucky mug. There, that's a little bit better. So if you're on TikTok and you have any sweepstakes questions, post them in the comments. I'll answer them. But everybody, if you want to win, you have to go over to Facebook. So Holly, does that answer your question? Let me see. She made. Oh, and she said, feel free to tag her. She's June Cottage. Does that make sense? So that's why companies do it, because they want to get exposure. And especially with this past year, I've seen more partnered giveaways than I have in the past. And I think that's because companies are getting smart with their marketing. And it also costs less. Like, think about it. If you've got a marketing campaign and now you've partnered with somebody, all those costs are reduced, right? To reach more people. I don't like the ones, okay, and to further answer your questions, I don't like loop giveaways. I don't mind if it's 2 or 3 companies that have partnered together to maximize their marketing efforts and, share the expense and introduce their products and services to each other's audience, which is actually smart marketing. I think that's brilliant. However, in the day, the most I ever saw was 60 companies in a loop giveaway. So I would say, hey, enter here, and then go over to Holly and enter there. And then Holly would say, go over to Susan. And Susan would say, hey, go over to Bill. And Bill would say, oh, go over to Bob. And Bob would say, go. And it's ridiculous. You have to follow and like and share and save on like 60 companies. And now you're following all these. No, I don't do those ones. Oh, yes, I'm going to miss you at the convention too. Well, I will be as soon as things settle down and travel's easier for me. I am itching to travel. I might actually do a road trip first and hang out with people. In 2013, I did a book tour and a road trip, and I gave workshops in different cities. So I'm going to see if I can do something similar maybe next year. I'm thinking it'll be a good time to do that. Oh, see, Bill says he's not going either. He's got a trip to Iowa planned. And he's going next year's, though. Yeah, I have to wait and see what's going on. If you're on TikTok, leave your questions below. And if you're on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, just post your question. I can actually put it on the screen here for this live because I'm in StreamYard, which I love. Oh, Janice says, yeah, she'd love to go. It's too far and expensive for me. But next year's in New Hampshire and I can drive there. So I'm hoping to make it to that one. Yeah, New Hampshire's fun. It's kind of weird for me to drive because there's no straight across. I have to go all the way up and all the way down, which is a little strange. But it's a beautiful drive. I love that part of the United States. And yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see. That's why I'm not confirming anything because, until everything's clear and the governments have said, yes, it's clear. And we've all, I've been, I'm safe, then that's when we're going to go. Oh, okay. So one says, Instagram, go to our bio page. How do you find the bio page? It's really funny. I put the live on TikTok, so I can't use my phone to show you an example. So I'm going to have to tell you. I'm going to have to describe it. Because I didn't even bring my iPad in, so I can't even use my iPad. What you're going to do is you're going to click. Okay, so if you see an Instagram post come up, right? And it's got the company, the little circle with their logo and the company name, and then their pretty picture and their blurb with their name. You can tap on their name. Now, if you tap on their picture, you may or may not go to their profile page. Because if it's got a little circle around it, the little colorful circle, that means they have stories. And if you click that, it'll take you to their stories and not their page. So if there's no little extra colorful circle around their picture, you can tap it, you'll go to the profile page. If they have a little circle, that'll take you to stories. So you tap on their name and be careful if they have like some other word like sponsored or a location or something else underneath. Because if you hit that, it'll take you to a map or it'll take you to an ad thing. So, you know, not fat fingers, just tap there and it'll take you to their profile page. So then you get, you know, their company name, how many people are following, their logo, this little blurb about them, you know, we make blah, 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 blah. Then you'll have like a Linktree link or a direct website link or something. Something will be there. And that's the link you'll click in the bio because Instagram does not allow for links. So a lot of people use like Linktree. I'm using Linktree right now. I want to eventually change it to a web page. Apparently there's a way to do it that looks like a Linktree and you can adjust it, but it's on your own website. And I'm going to figure that out at some point. But, you know, Linktree's working right now for me. So I'm just going to leave it until I figure that out. And the reason people like to use Linktree is because I can tap it and it'll say stuff like, hey, click here if you're interested in learning about club meetings, and click here if you want to come to a workshop, and click here if you want to get my newsletter, and click here if you want to learn about the 5 easy steps to begin winning, and click here. Like, so I have all the different options for people. So if they want to learn how to win, if they want to do this, if they want to do that, if they want to find newsletters or resources, or I have so much stuff on my website. So it's easier for me just to make the tab. So that's the bio. I hope that answered your question without any visual aids. That's kind of funny. So if you're on TikTok, okay. Oh, right? I hate loops. Oh, Amy says she won. It's in 2 comments. So I'll just show what she won. $500 to Airbnb. Congratulations. I hope you can use that on a vacation soon. Okay, bio page. Oh, okay. Here's a good question. I've been sweeping since the 80s. Oh, the heyday of sweepstakes. And I've had my share of prizes. For last year, I can't win my way out of a paper bag. Do you think it's because of COVID or the pool of entrants has increased? It's much harder to win. I believe you are the one that sent me the question about how to increase wins in the summer. Okay, well, I'll answer both because they're a little bit different. So part of it is COVID. Okay, so the beginning part of COVID, I remember when COVID hit and everything locked down, literally pages were gone. Like there was sweepstakes entering that just disappeared. Some stayed and said, hey, we probably can't offer the prize. So if we can't, we're just going to give you the cash alternative, which a lot of times you can't get a cash alternative. Like it says in the rules, there's no transferring, no altering prize, no whatever. However, there's always a clause in sweepstakes rules that allows sponsors to change the prize if they so see fit. Right? Rules are always written in favor of the sponsor because they're the ones paying for the contest. So there's always a clause in there allowing them to get out of it. So most of them just said, hey, if we can't get you this trip somewhere to this like hockey game or this trip to somewhere else, we'll just give you the cash equivalent. Because they didn't want to stop the giveaway because it was already too far gone into the program. So they just let it run out. And then they didn't do anything else. So probably other programs that they had down the pipe, they just killed. And I would I have a bunch of sites I go to on a weekly basis to see if they have any new sweepstakes that are outside of the aggregate that I use. And they were blank. And the aggregates had nothing. Like it just shut down. Like everywhere just shut down. And then as things started to open up, I noticed the United States opened up faster than Canada, but the sweepstakes started to come back. Trips are slowly coming back. And they're also extending everything. They're saying normally you'd have like a few months or you'd have to fly at a certain time. Now they're like, hey, you can have this giveaway and you can take it anytime up to the end of 2022, or 2023. Like they're really crazy extending the dates. They never used to do that, but now they're like, they still want to market and they still want to get their marketing programs out there, but they don't want to be hindered. So they're just extending the rules like crazy, which I think is a great idea because then we can participate and we have the flexibility. You don't have to panic. So when you see a sweepstakes for a trip, and you're still not sure if you can take it or not. Now you're like, oh, I definitely can enter that because look how long I have to enter it or to take it if I win. So yeah, I'm comfortable entering. So now they're getting companies hold sweepstakes for their marketing efforts. They want brand awareness, or they want people to sign up for their newsletter, or they want to launch a new product, or whatever it is. They're going to get that marketing push without, and people won't be afraid to enter because they're going to have that prize. I do think part of it is, so part of it was COVID hit and removed a lot of prizes. It's taking a while. It's still not back 100%, but it's way better than it was last year. I think by the same time next year, like by the time it's been 2 full years since COVID locked us everybody down, like March, by spring 2022, I think it'll pretty much be back to normal. I think the hobby will be back to normal, and the sweepstakes that are coming back this summer, we're still not at 100% full force, but this is way better than it was last year. I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see like 2019 numbers for sweepstakes in 2022. I think it's going to kind of come back full circle. So I think we're going to see that. The other thing is, yes, I think one of the reasons you might be finding it harder is, and then I'm going to tell you how to make it easier, is that because so many people are not commuting, they have more time in their hands, and people need more money, like because there's a lot of people that weren't working, they were hard hit for funds. They're looking for ways to increase their way to enhance their life because they have time. So I think there are more sweepers now than there were. There are more sweepers. So the secret is twofold. One, enter local. If you're entering local, you're more likely to increase your odds of winning. It's in concentric circles, right? So you're going to have better odds entering local than state or province wide or tri-state or national, right? So think about it. The odds of winning are better the closer you are to home, and then also with short term sweepstakes, your odds of winning are better. The other thing is hurdles, any kind of hurdle. So if it's an Instagram contest, but they want you to take a picture of a recipe, so you have to go out and you have to cook it and you have to do this and you have to, so the more hurdles, the more things you have to do to enter, and the more obstacles there are, barriers to entry, the more likely you are to win because less people are going to enter. So I would try that. Tom Cavalli, who is simultaneously running a Facebook Live because he's doing a thing with Facebook right now, a program. And so he said, I'm going to go live every Monday in June. And I'm like, oh, well, and he goes on at 8 and I'm on at 8 because I always do the last Monday of every month. And he's like, oh, well, and I'm like, oh, well. So I suggest maybe go watch his live after this and follow him because he is very good at the best odds sweepstakes. And so some are other people. Okay, so. Oh, yeah. See, Leanne agrees with me. She doesn't mind if a loop is 4. I say 3 is my max. Her max is 4. But to me, that's not really a loop because loops are enter here and then go here to enter. And you have to enter on everybody's to be in to win. So you'd have to go and enter on all 4s. The ones where it's a partner is you can enter here. And if you want to increase your chances of winning, go over there. So you don't have to enter on both places, but why wouldn't you? So there's a difference on a loop where you have to go to each one and enter versus, hey, double your chances of winning. Does that make sense? Okay, and then, let's see. Oh, someone said, oh, Sarah says, I've only been to too many. Someday I want to do a big one. Yes. And I don't know where 2023 is going to be. See, normally New Hampshire had it in 2020, but of course we all know what happened. So normally it wouldn't go back to the same place. It bounces around. Like the first one I went to was in Moline, Illinois, and then it went to Phoenix, and then it went to Detroit, and then it went to Texas, and then it went to New Hampshire that in '09, and then it went to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Like it bounced like all. It's been all over the country. I've been to Atlanta, I've been to Orlando, I've been to Boston. Like I've been to Salt Lake City, so it's been all over. However, because the in-person went virtual, they've brought it back to New Hampshire, which isn't normal in the flow of how the sweepstakes go, conventions go, but it's back in New Hampshire, which is kind of fun. So that's what's really good about that. And so it's going to be New Hampshire. And then what happens at the conventions is they will then vote to where it's going in 2023. And I don't think people understand how the conventions are run. So there's sweepstakes clubs all over the United States. And a club will volunteer. This is all volunteer. Nobody gets paid to run a convention. And it's a ton of work. I've run them before. It's a ton of work, like a ton. And nobody gets paid to do it. So a club will say, hey, our club will run the next convention. And so then that's why it goes to that city. And that's why it tries to go around. So that's how that works. And it's a bunch of really hardworking people that just are so passionate about sweepstakes, they'll run a convention, and they do it as a team. Yeah, Cindy says, I want to go next year too. Okay, maybe we'll road trip it. We'll see. I can pick her up. I know where Sandy lives, and she's on my way to New Hampshire. Oh my gosh. Sweepers on a road trip. That would be something. There's a show. I could be TikToking that whole thing. Yes, I need a plan plan for next year. It's going to be fun. When you say sweepstakes, is that for the States, not Canada? Okay, so I use the word interchangeably. So here's the lingo. Let me explain the definitions, and then I'll explain what I say. So the lingo is lottery sweepstakes contest. Okay. A lottery, you pay a consideration for a chance at a prize. Okay. A sweepstakes and a contest each have one of those removed. So a sweepstakes, you don't pay a consideration. You just have a chance at a prize. And a contest, you usually pay the consideration. And it's a lot of times they're judged, so there's no chance, right? You have there's an opportunity to win a prize. So think of, like photography contests, or when somebody submits, their best pie at the state fair and they can win a blue ribbon for their pie, right? Usually they've paid an entry fee and it's judged. There's no chance, and sometimes there's money depending on the contest. So how we came to use the term contest in Canada is sweepstakes are actually illegal. But some lawyer figured out that if you ask a skill testing question, it now makes it a contest by legal definition. That's why we have contests in Canada, even though they're run exactly like sweepstakes in the United States. And that's why we answer skill testing questions, because that way, by legal definition, it's a contest, not a sweepstakes in Canada, which is legal. It's crazy. Like, they could just change the law, but they don't. Whatever. Because companies use it as a marketing tool all the time. And you can also use the word giveaway. And in the UK and India and Australia, they use the word competition. So they're compers. So in the States, they're sweepers. In Canada, we're contesters. It's all the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. We're all doing the same thing, and there's just a different word for it. So there's no, right? Oh, that is hilarious. Bill says, Tom's on my phone in my right ear near my laptop in my left ear. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Yes, it is funny, Amy. Is it the same time every year? Almost. It depends on the hotel and everything. So I've gone to conventions in June. I've gone to conventions in July. And I've gone to some in August. It depends on the hotels and the deals that they can get with the convention center. And they usually have to pick hotel. You got to remember, they need to find a hotel that has a big enough meeting room that can host. So the smallest convention I've gone to has 450. I don't know how many's going this year. I think it's going to be about the same, 400 to 450. I'm guessing someone's going to have to tell me next week. I'm sad I'm missing it. I think it's going to be pretty small. And the biggest I've been to is 1100. Usually it hangs around the 750 mark, give or take a few people. But it is so fun, and it always runs 4.5 days. So usually and then the hotels also give extra days. So if you come 3 days before or 3 days after, you can usually get the convention rate for the hotel because hello, they're happy to have you stay there and make, and use their facilities. So when we went to Phoenix, for example, we went for a whole week. And so we came a day early and then we stayed a couple days late so we could go sightseeing and relax and stuff. And it was fun. Sometimes I've had to work. So literally I come there and then we leave right after. So for example, when we went to Atlanta, we left the night before and we drove straight to Atlanta. And Thursday afternoon, the vendors are open. Usually Thursday sometime like noon or the afternoon, the vendor room opens and the convention has like an evening get together where people can connect and meet and have fun. And then Friday, it's basically there's speakers and prizes and speakers and prizes and a break for lunch, and then speakers and prizes and speakers and prizes and a break for dinner. And usually Friday nights, the alternative event or why is my brain not working? So there's usually an event. So sometimes they'll have a casino trip. One time we went to convention and we went to a baseball game. One time we went on a boat cruise. There was like a river cruise with dinner and a show. There's different activities. What else did we do? Baseball twice actually. Once was in New Hampshire. Once was in Boston. No, Atlanta. Like there's different things. Sometimes people go to the casino. It's fun. There's like an activity. Then Saturday morning is the same. It's speakers and prizes and speakers and lunch. But then in the afternoon break, then you come back to the banquet and you get all dressed up. Well, not super fancy, but it's fun. You dress up a little bit, and then there's the big prizes, and then you come back Sunday morning for the last one or two speakers, and then the balance of the prizes, and you usually finish by noon on Sunday. So that when we were in Atlanta, we went and saw the World of Coke, and then we drove straight home. I couldn't stay. But other times I've stayed. I try not to leave till the Monday because that gives me the time to rest. And who doesn't want to hang around? And not all the sweepers leave right away, but it depends. And so that's what the convention schedule is kind of like. And so it's always the same kind of format, and it's always on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the exact dates change from year to year. Okay, I hope that answers that question. Let's see. Okay, so someone says, thank you for clarifying the skill testing question, Canadian entrance. We've seen how simple the questions are, and are wondering if they're trying to do check IQs or what. Actually, I have an answer to that. So there's a book called Advertising and Marketing Law in Canada. And they actually have skill testing questions. So in Canada, it is considered an illegal lottery to dispose of prizes by chance alone. Some smart advertising lawyers, no doubt, found the skill loophole and the requirement to correctly answer a mathematical skill testing question to win a sweepstakes or a contest became de rigueur in Canada. What is sufficient skill is a matter of some debate. A line of cases that concludes that shooting a turkey from 50 yards is insufficient skill, but a mathematical skill testing question is sufficient skill, causes most promoters to stick to mathematics. The other reason mathematics is a good skill testing a use of mathematics to fill the skill requirement is because it's also language free. Canada's a melting pot. We've got people from all over the world. You know, English might be their second or third language. I mean, there's so many smart people that are bilingual, multilingual. Math is math is math. In every language, math is math is math. So because, and you remember, Quebec is a lot of Quebec is French, and then and then of course we have all these other. So if you ask math, it's math. Now here's the other part of the math: the order of mathematics. Remember in grade 5 when you learned that the order of mathematics in the absence of brackets was multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction? That's Bedmas. Remember Bedmas? Brackets, exponents, division, mathematics, addition, subtraction. Oh, and I have a point to make after this too. It's surprising how many promotion houses do not remember that until they receive a complaint from a mathematics professor who claims the correct answer to the skill testing question is a negative number, and therefore he's only the only winner of their contest. Be sure that the question either has brackets or always goes in the correct mathematical order, and to ensure the answer is a whole number. So I always advise clients that if they're going to have a skill testing question, that they should write it in such a way that whether someone answers it left to right or using Bedmas, it's the same answer. Because sometimes, I remember back in the day when I was still faxing back release forms where they'd ask this horrible question. And so I would write on the form, this is a terrible skill testing question because if I answer it left to right, this is the answer I get. And if I answer it using Bedmas, which is what I should be using, this is the answer I get. And in the future, if you're going to host a contest and run a skill testing question, it should be the same answered either way. And I would say, and here's a sample question. And I would give them a sample question. So I would like fill up the... And I'd always get my prize because I would basically school them on their skill testing question. Oh, what if you Google the answer to the math question? Yeah, that's fine. You can do it on your phone too. Like if you do it on your phone, like in the math, it'll get your answer. The other thing that you will find is some of them will say, and it's out of order, but they write it in. So they write it in a list. So they'll say, take this number and divide by this number, and then take this number and subtract this number, and then take that number and multiply by this, and then that, and add this. And what's the answer? Because they've written it out like step by step by step, then you clearly just follow the step by step by step, even if it doesn't follow Bedmas, because they're basically guiding you to the way they want you to do it. So then you won't have to do that. So yeah, I love this resource. This is the 6th edition. This is the first time that I didn't go, because usually every time they have a book launch, I go to it. I was the only non-lawyer at these events. But of course, this one came out last year. So there was no launch party, which was a shame because they were so fun. Right. So I'm not good at math so far, but able to answer all the questions I've been asked, breathe and take my time and think clearly. Yes. And you know what I found? I always do it in my head beside my calculator. First, I do it in my head. I go, oh, it's this and this should be this much. Yes, it is. And then I do it. And I find my math skills have improved since entering Sweepstakes. Right? How fun is that? Okay, so I still have one more question that I didn't answer that was sent in advance. And that one is how to increase wins in the summer. And I thought, that's crazy because my wins actually always go up in the summer. And that's because maybe it's because I focus on the pin-based sweepstakes and I'm out walking every morning looking for codes. And this year, they're back, and I'm so excited. I'm having so much fun. I love walk. I put on my headset. I listen to a podcast, or one of my clients. One of my client has a membership, and so he does classes, and I just download the audio and I listen to him while I walk. And I do that, and I'm like daydreaming and pidcon hunting, or I listen to an Audible book. It's a great, and I'm getting fresh air. Today I was sweating because it was super hot, but it's just, I don't know. I like it. It's, I'm by myself. I don't have to worry about masks or anything, because who is up walking in the street looking through garbage bins at 6 o'clock in the morning but me? Nobody. What are the dates for next year's convention? They won't announce them until this convention. So on July 8th, I will know. We will see. But it's going to be in the summer. Okay. When contests say authorize U.S. access to your account, what's that all about? Oh, access to, oh, you mean like on Facebook? Yeah, that's how the third party things are all set up. And then they want to, you got to read Facebook's privacy policy and what they're allowing people to look at. And basically they can just trail you. And actually you need to go in and shut off Facebook looking at all the other programs, because they control all your data. You have to Google that. Maybe I should write a blog post on it. Maybe that's a good idea. Oh, I did have a convention. Is there an age limit? I have a son who'll be 13 or 14 next year, depending on when it's held. I've been getting him into sweeping and wondering if he'll be able to go. Yes. Double check, because it's usually 12 or 13 is the limit. I think it's 13. However, he can't enter some of the sweepstakes. So they have like raffle draws for like lottery tickets and stuff, and you have to be 18 for that. However, so I didn't know that one time, and when I took Lane and I paid for us to have the lottery tickets and the gift cards, and they went, oh, she can't have those. So they just put them in my name, because I didn't know that she couldn't have them. So they just, and because I didn't max out my tickets, because I think it was max 10 per person, so I did 5 and 5, and they went, oh, well, she can't have it. So they put them to me, and then she was still in for the gift cards, because gift cards are, whatever. So just check. But yeah, the kids can come, depending. So just double check. But you usually he should be old enough to go, and it's kind of fun. Tom. Oh, we just told Tom finished his live, so all his people should come. Oh, Beverly says she's trying to go next year. You love the Northeast. Yeah, and the way I drive, I come down through Vermont, and it's so beautiful, and I pass Ben and Jerry's. We stop every time. Who can resist Ben and Jerry's? Oh, Bill says she's planning to go next year. Oh, we're going to party till the cows come home. Well, yeah, because they are kind of in the middle of nowhere. Now I'm getting excited. Now I'm going to have to go. I mean things he can't at least would attend. Thanks for the info. Okay, so let's get back to Deborah. She says that how to increase her wins in the summer. She does the same thing all year long. She enters often and she picks carefully. So the only thing that I could think of was that what she is picking to enter during the summer isn't the same as she's picking in the winter. I'm wondering if she keeps a spreadsheet. So one of the things is that I used to do, which I got away from it. I was all gung-ho in 2020, and then when it shut down, I was just all poopy, and I just was like, oh, forget this. And I stopped tracking. But if you go to my website under 5 Steps to Begin Winning, at the bottom of the first page, there is, at the bottom of the first step, there's a spreadsheet that you can get to track your wins. And I put it up every year. And one of the ways, one of the lines, one of the columns is to track where you're winning. So is it online? Is it Facebook? Is it social media? So you can start to get a pattern of where you're winning and what's working for you or is not working for you. So if you say, for example, are spending a ton of time on Instagram, but you look at your spreadsheet and you're winning radio contests that you're hardly entering, but for some reason you're like hitting all the radio wins or the text wins, then you're like, I need to shift my energy because clearly I'm spending all this time on Instagram, but it's not paying off. So it can help you adjust where you're winning. Also, I said, best odds sweepstakes. Try to enter things that are, better for you to win. Enter. So for those of the people on TikTok, post questions below or head over to Facebook because if you leave comments on Facebook, you're in to win. Same with the people on YouTube and Twitter. So let's see. Oh, Beverly says she's an old lady, but she can party with the best. Beverly's in her 80s, or I probably just aged her. She's probably going to smack me through the computer. But she is always learning and makes us laugh. And she's like the best one at our club meetings. We're having a club meeting on July 6th. So if you wanna hang out with us on the 6th, just go to my events calendar and sign up for the virtual contest club meeting. It is so fun. It's the best I could do until I can travel. Oh, what's the best contest happening right now? Oh my gosh, there's hundreds of them. There's hundreds of sweepstakes. It depends on what do you want to win. So if you go to a site like Sweepstakes Fanatics, Contest Girl, Contest Chest, I Win Contest, Sweeps Sheet, Sweeps Atlas, like there's countless sites, Sweepstake Advantage. You can sort by single entry, daily entry, weekly, monthly, instant win, trips, cars, electronics, cash, gift, like you can sort by whatever you want. And then on some sites, you can even sort by state. So if you just want the New York sweepstakes so that your odds of winning are better because only the people that live in New York State can enter, you could do those kind of searches too. So, yeah, and it depends on also where you live. Like Paula just made a point that, oops, wrong comment. Chum FM is a great contest for a 2-bedroom condo. When do I think Canada would open the border? Unfortunately, I'm not Kreskin. No, I just aged myself. If anybody knows who Kreskin is, he was a psychic, a mentalist that used to do that. I have no idea. They're saying July 21st, but until I see it happening, I'm not. I knew when they shut the border last like 2 Marches ago. I said, and they kept saying, "Oh, we're just going to keep it closed for 30 days." And at that point, I said, "Oh, it's going to be closed for a year," but they don't want to tell you that because everyone would freak out. And it's just been pushed. I actually thought it would be open by the spring. I thought by last year, I thought by this spring, things would be better and we would be open and a little more normal than we are, but things are just taking longer than I thought. So what sites and newsletters do you recommend? I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because what I like isn't what you might like. So what I do is I have all of the sites that are currently out there on my website in alphabetical order because I'm Switzerland, I'm neutral. And what I recommend people do is you go and visit different sites, poke around. Some of them have free trials. Some of them are freemium sites where they have a free section, but you pay for the better, for premium stuff. And you do need to invest in your hobby. The reason some of them have paid sections is because it costs them money. Even Contest Queen isn't free for me. Like I have to pay a webmaster. I have to pay hosting. I pay for my newsletter. It's like hundreds of dollars every month Like, it's not free to run a business. So they charge subscribers money because it helps offset the cost of running the site. And some of them do it as a business too. But go around and poke around and see what you like. Because if you like a certain format, say I might not like that format, but you like that format, and you're having fun, that's when you're going to win. If the minute it feels like work or you don't are uncomfortable, oh, I don't like how they lay this out, it doesn't feel good, change. Because if you're not feeling good when you're entering, you're not going to win. Helene did a good quote in her book. Here, I'll read this. This is important. And I did so in Canada, they say anybody after July 5th who've been double vaccinated have to quarantine. Yeah, me too. Me too. Oh, what are you giving away today? Oh, it's the same. I already listed it. It should be on Facebook. In the description. It should have worked. If the description isn't there, I'll update it after the live shuts off. But through StreamYard, I did preset the rules. Let's hope they're there. But you can win. I think I said, now I'm going by memory, right? You win one of my books, or you can win one of Helene's books, or you can win a notebook. I love this one. This is kind of a little law of attraction going there. I found some more. But here, Helene said this one time. Oh gosh, now I have to try and find it. But she said, let me see if I can find it. It was about going to the post office, and I found it fascinating. And I did a TikTok on it, or I did a little video on it or something. But it was about her. So of course, Helene, and I get this all the time too. People are always saying, well, you win. How can, oh, here it is. I knew I'd find it. She said, don't be like the woman I once had as a neighbor. One evening, she called and asked if she could drive to the post office with me. We talked earlier over the fence, and she knew I was going to make the trip later. She entered contests half-heartedly because she knew I kept winning things. See, I get people saying that, well, you're lucky, When we reached the post office, she leaned out to deposit our entries into the curb letter box. You know, the ones where you can do in the window. As she slipped them into the slot, she turned to me and said, well, there goes nothing. I was dumbfounded. She never did win anything while I knew her. Later, she moved out of the neighborhood and took her gloom with her. We all have down periods occasionally, but if it's a consistent thing, it really is the pits. If it happens to you, make considerable effort to get back into a positive frame of mind. Read something uplifting, listen to violin music. It's one of the most uplifting, soothing sounds one can experience. Remember, you're in control of your thinking. Change it if it's pulling you down. So you have to have the attitude. And if you think, if you have any resistance to the hobby, then just stop. And I did notice, like, I went through what they call a dark night of the ego. My client calls it dark night of the ego, not dark night of the soul. And it was true. Even though I contested the whole time, when I was really sad going through my divorce, of course, my vibration's lower and I was not winning. And over time, I noticed as I was healing and getting better, my wins kept going up. And I had this like thing in the back of my head. I thought, oh, I'm going to win a trip when I'm really happy. And sure enough, was with George, first trip in 10 years. Because my last trip was just as the divorce started. And then once I was with George, and so it was a long time in between trip wins. But my energy had shifted, and I was in a better space energetically, mentally, and it happened. Oh, see, this is very good. I meditate and do affirmations to stay positive about winning. I know it will help me Win big one day soon. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Manifest winning. Yes. Oh, see? I want a trip to Portugal on my divorce. That is my lucky day. See, that's so funny. I want to write. So, what I'm doing now is I'm working on Helene's next book, Confessions of an 83-Year-Old Sage, while I'm finishing Prizes Everywhere. And I'd like to have it finished next month. So, I said, okay, I was doing little bits here and here and here and here and here and here. And I'm like, okay, I can't keep doing little bits and getting pulled in different directions. So I'm letting all the other projects sit and I'm just working on that book because I can't spin my wheels anymore. Right? I definitely notice a difference in my wins depending on energy. I love that you include that aspect of sweeping life. It's really true. I always had it. So I don't know if even if you remember my first book, I have a chapter on attracting luck. And actually, I'm changing it in the next book. So here is, um, I had this here, attracting luck. How do I do that? I can't hardly see. Attracting luck. And I say, as I participated in online forums and attended club meetings and met multitudes of sweepers, I noticed that some people seemed to win far more than others did. What set those people apart? I realized there was 7 traits and actions winners possessed and took, and they were: think positively, expect to win, feel like a winner, have good chi inside and out, share with others, don't cheat, and enter, enter, enter. And then I go in through and describe it. But one of the things I had in this edition is I had a lot of quotes. So, for example, I have a story here from The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And those permissions that I got for all these quotes only allowed this book to be sold in Canada and US. And I want my next one to be worldwide. So I've ripped anything out of the book that's going to prohibit me from selling my book globally is not going to be in there this time. And so I've changed this chapter into attracting luck, into being lucky. Do you see the shift in just the title? Attracting luck is external and being lucky is internal. You see that you can almost feel the difference as I say it, right? So I want to shift it. And I actually have I've already got the ISBN, but I've got a book marked for winning is an inside job. So maybe sometime in 2022, I'll start writing that book, or 23. I don't know. Book writing is not. I remember going. It was years ago when things were a little rocky, and I had this book, and it was after my first book, and then I thought, I'm not a bestseller. I should just go get a job. And I remember going to this job interview, and I took a book with me, give it to the interviewer. And he kind of looked at it, and he's like, oh, but you were at home and this and that. And he said something about the book, and I'm like, it just doesn't write itself, right? That's 2 years worth of work. Oh, he says, I don't think he really got how much work goes into writing a book. Like, it's a lot of work to write a book. Yeah. So, and you know what? It's funny. It depends on the book too, because mine's a lot of research. Like, I interview people. Like, for example, Bill is in the chat, and he's got a podcast called Sweeping Up Sweepstakes. So I'm, interviewing him. So I'll interview Bill, and then I'll write a blurb, and then I'll send it to him for approval. And then he's, like, maybe he'll change it, and he'll send it back. And sometimes I write it, and it's like it's perfect the first time. Sometimes it goes back and forth twice, 3 times, 4 times. It depends on what we're doing. It's going back and forth, then we get approval. And I do that for the whole book. Everybody I interview, every section that I'm getting permission to, it's a lot of research. So these books take me, a couple of years, but to do all this research. And I used to be neighbors with Wesley King, who, no relation to Stephen King. He is a children's author. Not children's author, young adult. And he could write a fiction story, a fantastical, because, he did like fantasy kind of book. I think a little bit with the sci-fi, and he would bang out a book in 3 weeks, and he's a bestseller. Holy cow! I can't even. It takes me 3 weeks just to like talk to like 5 people and get responses back. So yeah. Oh, see, Melanie says, listening to your podcast, Bill, great motivation for me, right? And this is what I like about this hobby is that, there's all kinds of teachers out there, all kinds of resources out there. It's such a big hobby. You can't, that's why I'm actually adding a chapter in my next book called Winning Resources, because it is too big a hobby and it keeps changing. And I think it keeps changing faster than we can almost keep up with. That it's, it's just so fast. So I'm listing all the other sweepstakes books in there. Some of the fiction books, because I love Carolyn Finkel's books. She wrote these fiction books where the protagonist is a sweeper, which I think is totally awesome. And then there's other teachers, like Tom teaches classes. Bill's got a podcast. Di Coke in the UK is like my sweeping soul sister. Technically she's a comper, but we'll forgive her for that. That's a kind of a bucket list item for me, right? Like I want to go to England and then I want to go to Brighton and hang out with her. Oh my God, that would be amazing. So she wins. She actually, if you go to Di Coke, she won her big contest ever. They had this crazy competition in the UK and she won. It was worth £25,000. It was a can of beer that's solid gold. You got to go check out, go to her website. You know how they have all these different extensions? She's so clever. She bought superlucky.me. Go check out her blog post on her gold win. It's really amazing. That was the biggest win. She's been comping 15 years. I think same as me. And she has a book. I think her next book is coming out. And at some point, like a couple of years ago in 2019, she had like a convention, like a 1-day thing. And it's a lot of work. So she doesn't know if she's going to hold one. I think, but next time, I think when she has one in the future, I'm going to England for that. I said, I'm going to speak at it. I'm flying over. So that's kind of a bucket list thing, is to go and hang out with all the compers in the UK, just like going to convention with the sweepers. It's fun because we're all crazy. I call us the good crazies. Anyway, let me just wrap this up here. Okay. Right? I love all the people in the hobby are positive and happy for the other person who wins. Yeah. The only reason though, there are some, unfortunately, jealous people. So that's why I started the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club on Facebook, so that people could post a win and people would cheer for them and not give them the stink eye. Right? This is the best part. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope I answered everybody's questions. We've got upcoming. If you go, I set up all the classes for the next quarter and all the next 6 virtual contest club meetings. And of course, every month, the last Monday of every month, I come here and do this and answer all the questions people want. I have been going more live on TikTok. I'm going to be doing another live at some point in the next few weeks because I got to try a Be Live program. So I'll just come and do what I call a sweepers chat with no real format. And, if you have questions, you can find me everywhere. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. What do you want to know? I know, right? And that's just me talking. Wait till you get a whole room of like 450 sweepers to 1,000 sweepers. That convention was, oh, yeah, great. Thanks. Yeah, so if you have any questions, otherwise, I'm going to have my nose to the grindstone and my fingers on the keyboard, and I'm getting a couple of books out pronto. I'm going to wrap those up. And go check out my merch. I love this. My daughter, I'm a proud mama here. My daughter is going to OCAD University for illustration, and she designed the logos. and the mug. And I even got magnets the other day. I was so happy. So I have stickers and magnets that if you win for me, oh yeah, if you enter the contest and you win for me, you get a sticker or magnet. And then I have the other design too. I'm so proud of her. Well, you know, and I told her we're going to come out with other designs. So look at that. So I've got stickers with spec, right? Helene's select it, project it, expect it, collect it. And then I have the I'm lucky, which by the way is my license plate on my car. And I should do a TikTok on that. There's a story. If you go back into my blog, you can look it up. But I've had the I'm lucky license plate for years. And I actually saw, because they didn't have, I couldn't put I am lucky because at that point they only had 7 characters. And we were driving down the highway once and we saw somebody with the I am lucky because they changed the license plates and allowed 8 characters. I guess because they were running out. And they started allowing 8 characters. And so we saw the other people. And it was kind of cool. Right? So be sure to head over to Facebook to enter the contest if you want to be in to win. Of course, I'm the contest queen. Why wouldn't I have? Oh, no, you're not going to win the old one. I picked up. I'm like, that seems wrong. And I have some more of Michael Logier's books to give away. So I think I might do a winning Wednesday or something. Oh, right. The stickers are good for vision boards. Yeah, I have stickers. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, I know. Too cute, right? I'm so proud of her. That's my girl. Yeah, so we're going to come out with some other designs too, but this is what we start with. We start small and go from there. Anyway, bye for now. Go and check my event calendar, and I hope to see you before then. Bye, everybody.